Turn up the volume, wake the crowd. F'nAround, stop the day. Rats and raves, we got something to say.
Good morning and welcome back to F'nAround in the morning on WURE FM. This is your co-host Joe.
What's good, everybody? It's JJ.
What's going on, JJ? How you doing over there, buddy?
Man, oh man. I'm fucking amazing as always, dude. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. I mean, the world's crazy, everything's ending, but you know what? I couldn't be fucking happier.
I was just gonna say, I know we got some shit to talk about today, man. It looks like the world's going fucking ape shit, and we live in the twilight zone as of today, right?
Absolutely fucking ape shit. I mean, it's not even Illinois anymore. It's the whole fucking goddamn country.
Goddamn country. Listen, hey, fat fuck, you get a break today, dude. This isn't singling you out completely, right? We got a lot of shit to talk about, man.
And if you really wait, he didn't get a break. I still went after him on LinkedIn, but we'll give you a break on the show today.
Yeah, we'll give you a slight break. No,
slight break.
We're just not gonna sit here and just ruin your fucking day, right?
Nah, just
definitely your
party
doing that.
Yeah, just your party.
Doing that today.
It's time. And welcome back to Friday's Dirty Dem section.
Dirty Dem session. Man, so where to fucking start, dude? First, let's start off on this slight shit, right? Because this is something that I don't know how true is, right? And we're gonna dive into it, but what's this DOD 5240.01 shit? Apparently during all of this extra goofiness that's been going on, right? Drones and, it's a me, Amadio and Luigi and all this other shit, right, going on. They slipped some type of bill in, right, where they passed a law saying that they're allowed to take.
They didn't pass it yet.
They didn't pass it. Wait, no. So is this the American citizen stuff where?
Oh no, yeah. Okay, that one they did. My bad. Yeah, I thought you were going for the other one. I was like, gee, see how much stuff
listen.
See how much stuff they're sliding through.
Yeah.
You see this? This is what we're talking about.
Yeah, see, exactly. And this is why we're not going to stay on this one too much here because I don't know too much about the facts about it yet. Right? I heard it on Joe Rogan's show, dude, and I just wanted to see if maybe you heard. Obviously, you haven't heard too much about.
No, not exactly. Right? They're sliding it through, and not much about it either. But why don't you give the people a little bit of information on this, so we can debate?
Well, I mean, what I do know is that according to what Joe Rogan put on his show is that this is a directive stating that the government can now attack American citizens on American soil. So I don't know too much about our laws, but I guess that's legitimately not something that you can do.
No, you're not supposed to do it all. Like that's the kind of like against everything you could think of. But if you think about what's going on, who's in control right now, who's passing stuff, and who's going to be passing stuff, it kind of aligns with that statement you talked a while ago with that Haskins guy, right?
Oh yeah, with Representative Haskins.
Yeah. This seems a little funny, right? Like then when we talking about that was terrorism and it's caused a civil war, and all of a sudden they're trying to legalize that.
Yeah, see, so that's what I'm kind of confused about, right? So I don't know the exact laws, but I do know that there are laws in place stating that you cannot use our military against us domestically, right?
Yeah.
So, I would imagine that's been around for quite some time. That's not nothing new, right? I would imagine.
And that's why they're like, if you think about how careful they are with using the guard and how it's done and what's going on.
Exactly, right? Because I don't know the ins and outs of that, but it's my understanding that the president doesn't have too much to do with the National Guard, right? That's pretty much a governor's thing, right? That's like the state's army, in a sense, right?
But it can also be used by, you know what I mean?
By the federal government.
Right. But they do they usually just answer to the governor. But you got to get approval. You got to get approval from the federal because they still report to the federal.
So what's the point then?
Like everything else.
Oh, there is none. My bad. Silly me to think that would have made sense for once.
Right. I mean, because think about how many times. Like, I mean, how many times have you both heard both Pritzker and fucking Trump both talk about using the National Guard in Illinois? Yeah. Think about it.
No, that's a very true statement. Okay, there you go. Thanks for making that more fucking clear.
Yeah, like they both have talked about using it, so everybody just thinks it belongs to them.
Yeah, I've had friends that were in the National Guard, and then I have friends that were actually in the armed forces part of things, right? And I know that there's like a difference in like you got to go report once a month or something like that when you're in the National Guard. So. But to think that we're going to find out more about this next week for you guys because I'm going to look up some shit this weekend. But to think that is something that they might have slid past everybody and not even mentioned, right? Which we're going to get into something that we do have a lot of facts about. This leads into that, right? But to think that they're really busting all these moves, like all this crazy shit right before a dude gets up out of there, right? And what is that going to leave the state of this country in, based on what we're seeing? What's this new one that we were just talking about? What's this one, this new directive that they haven't passed yet?
So it's funny because it goes right back into what you're saying with all the mess with the drones and Luigi. We said, what are they doing and what they want us to see? So, like, I caught it this morning. I saw it. I know I sent it to you. Jesse Waters was talking about it. It's been all over. The Republicans are going nuts. So last night, as everyone's pretty much aware, like our Wednesday night, by the way. So by the time you're hearing this, we'll find out whether or not it passed or what's going on. But what they're doing is they tried to slide through a bill because they're talking about a government shutdown again on Friday because obviously we're broke as fuck. Welcome to the country.
Ooh, surprise.
Yeah, you make your people broke, you go broke. That's what happens.
Yeah,
but
right. Facts.
Right. The point of it is it's a 1,500-page bill, right, to approve a $100 billion credit card for how long do you think it's supposed to last them?
Wait a minute. A 1,500-page bill. How long did it take them to do this?
I don't know, but they just randomly turned it in Wednesday night. How long do you think that $100 billion is supposed to last them in spending?
Oh God, I mean, I don't even get me speculating. I would imagine it's a long time though.
2.5 months.
Wait, what?
$100 billion credit line for 2.5 months on the American people's tax dollars. So now, right. So you're sitting there going like 1,500 pages. What the fuck? So you're going there and you're looking at the Republicans now getting upset. And you're looking at all these news people getting upset and the people reading and analyzing and going through it. And all of a sudden they're starting to talk about it's not just a credit line. They slid all this other lovely little shit in there.
Yeah, all these. So it's like a lot of filler, and then they got all this sneaky shit in there.
Right. So then, so basically, it's the Democrats saying, "Hey, the Republicans aren't approving this because they want to freeze the government, do a government shutdown." And now you got Republicans screaming, "We don't want a government shutdown, but you just told us we can never get our records subpoenaed. You just said that no matter what happens, you can never look at the senators or congressmen's emails or texts ever again." They're literally putting them
in the. So they put that. They snuck that into the bill. So here we'll do this. No government shutdown. But then in the background, this is in the pages somewhere saying that we can't get subpoenaed no more.
Right. They basically said we're above the law.
Hey, sign me the fuck up, dude. How do I get that?
Right. And the joke that Jesse made on his thing was basically in case fucking Trump decides to subpoena everybody that was involved in the January 6th incident and he gets all their emails and texts and what happened, they don't get it.
Oh, it ain't no fun
when the
rabbit got the gun. Okay, listen. Okay, now it makes sense. See, look, for once it makes sense. They're scared.
Oh, and then Jesse used your thing. He goes, and all of a sudden, if Nancy's texting her little husband the stock trades to do, they can't find those texts anymore.
Oh.
He literally called her out for it.
Man, listen, I'm telling you right now, these guys, dude, they're too obvious. They're way too fucking obvious, bro. They're way too obvious with how they do shit. It's just out of this fucking world.
But sliding that in is one thing, right? They just slid out a bunch of other stuff. But the three big things that popped up to me that Jesse brought up, and I love that he brought it up because, it kind of gives us the insights of where to go.
Waters is solid, dude.
Very solid.
Yeah.
So then he brings up the fact that they put in a whole pandemic preparation section on preparation for doing and creating new vaccines and having vaccines in storage for the next pandemic.
Wait a minute. I thought the pandemic already ended.
Yeah, but they're prepping for the next one.
Oh, we planned these things.
Yeah.
Okay. My bad. I forgot. Silly me.
Silly rabbit. Silly rabbit.
It's scheduled in advance. Okay.
They just want to make sure it's prepped so they know what the vaccines are doing and what's going on for this.
Crazy. I mean, why would
So let's take it a step further. Not only is it pandemic preparation, so they have vaccines and everything, they're going to fund the institute in Wuhan that did the first one to give it funding to set up for the next one.
Now listen, Joe, they're doing the right thing. Okay, so from a business aspect, it was the most affected when it originated from there in the first place. So you got to go back, dude. Listen, that's like saying I got Smokey producing these amazing ass beats, bro. Smokey is doing great. But I'm gonna take it to a different producer. No, absolutely not. We're sticking with Smokey.
But at least this time they're smart enough to start the vaccine before they release it.
Well, yeah. Listen, there's always trial and error, dude.
Right.
You know that, right?
Hey,
so
last time it got released a little too soon on an accident. I mean, I think it got released. That was a slip up. They let it out a little too soon. This time they're like, you know what? Not only are we going to prep for it, we're going to make sure you can't see our emails and texts talking about the release dates.
Yeah, because last time we got caught because of this, you guys. Last time they caught us because of this shit. There's people that can't stay off their phones. Social media has fucked us.
Yeah. So now they want to make sure you can't find out what they're talking about. They're going to fund it. They're going to create the vaccines and the place that does it. And I bet you if we look into it, they didn't update the security either, and they're going to go with the same flaw.
Yo, let me find out that Governor Pritzker's family owns most of them vaccine companies again. Anyways, man, let me find the fuck out, you fat son of a bitch.
Nah, hey. They've already got the gloves and masks on lockdown.
Oh, dude. You capitalized him and his family on that, dude. One day we're going to have to dive into them numbers, dude.
Those fucking vinyl gloves, they were fucking... Do you saw how much people were paying for that shit?
Oh,
and how many people are losing money on that because they're buying like empty storage lockers to try and get that shit?
But listen, so I'm a glass half full type of guy, right? So at least they're looking at where they fucked up last time, because remember last time, no preparation, no nothing, and then they locked everybody down like they were in prison for a year and a half.
Right, but let's also be honest, we weren't supposed to know it was coming.
Well, yeah, that's because that fucking crazy fuck ate a bat somewhere over there, dude.
Well, if you watch South Park, he fucked something. He fucked some armadillo-looking thing. Did you watch that episode, how the pandemic started?
No, now I gotta watch it.
Yeah, Randy got all fucked up on a drug trip with Mickey Mouse.
Makes sense.
Yeah, with Mickey Mouse in China, and they started banging weird animals, and they spread
That's exactly how it happened. Actually. Yep. What the fuck am I thinking? Why would I think it was anything different?
Yeah.
Man, so we got sneaky stuff being put into bills, right? And this is all in the past 24 hours, right? Which we got a few more things too. So all in the past 24 hours so far, we've got sneaky shit being put into bills.
Yep.
Something mentioned about the DOD and American people, right?
Taking over the American people. And then don't forget they're discussing the hemp. And let's go touch that while we're talking about screwing the people.
Yeah, that's where I was just going. Yep.
Yep. Not only that, you know how right now, as long as it's 0.03% derived from THC, you can do it for the Delta 8s in the other market, right?
Okay.
For the hemp bill, right? They're looking at readjusting the hemp bill now, so it's 0.03 of all cannabinoids.
So that ain't got to have shit in it?
Correct. So for the hemp, the farm, the Delta 8, the fucking Delta, everything else, 0.03 tops, which means if you actually want to get high or you want to feel something, you got to go to a dispensary. Message. 0.03 total. Because
they wonder why people smoke crack and do cocaine, dude. What the fuck?
By the time they're done, it's going to be cheaper for the first time ever.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Like I just seen like a funny meme about exactly like what you're saying. These people are like, you have to go in order to get high from a dispo these days. You're talking $80, $90, $100 for a gram cart, right? That gram cart ain't doing nothing. Now you might as well go grab you a pack of blows and a couple rocks and call it a day. Cost you $100, and you'd be set for a few weeks.
Honestly, that market's probably going to go down lower anyway to pick up the demand.
Man, dude, that is nuts. So keep going. What's this 0.03 bullshit now? Now what do the people expect?
So think about when you see THC, where it's like 40% THC, 20% THCA. Now it's going to be, they're trying to say it has to be 0.03% or less.
So what can the people expect? How does let's once again use our examples. What does this do for guys like Ty? Guys like Sam?
So remember in high school when you had that fucking real nerdy guy that we knew who always talked a lot of shit and we put oregano in a bag and sold it to him?
Oh, God, knock it off. You're not doing that to people on a daily basis, are they?
That's how, I mean, think about it. 0.03, like a total. So if you derive it all, like think about how much, like, I mean, the crops they're doing are useless. Everything they're doing, you have to re-fucking seed, redo what you want to do.
Oh my God, yeah.
Have you even seen a fucking hemp plant with, like, you know how hard it is to find one below 0.03 total cannabinoids?
So now you're talking about needing to change the regular grow process in some way and alter this because you can't let it reach that number, but that number's so easily reached by the plant.
Right. So you basically, you're just killing a whole industry. And the fact Pritzker's coming in and slashing it apart too and blaming it on the kids. So you saw what I was talking about today, right? Like going off on it. Like, think about it. The hemp industry in the country is around $2 billion, right? Give or take. Illinois is 500 million of it because we have so many farmers and so much of the business here because we're regulated, we're testing all this. So he's trying to slash that whole industry now, remove it because supposedly a couple of kids got high off some vapes or fucking some gummies. Okay, so let's go back. So you care about the kids when it affects the cannabis industry, but not with the guns, not with the poisons and the makeup, not with the fast food that gets them fat.
No fentanyl. Let's not worry about the fentanyl.
No fentanyl. No one cares about.
Or the millions of Venezuelans that are running the streets rampant and leaving fucking people's heads in neighborhoods and shit.
Yeah, or the sex trafficking, or the
listen,
no. It's only if it only, but it because they got high off edibles. It's fucked up. I mean, shit. I got drunk as fuck as a kid off all this fucking shit. Remember you? We all did.
Oh, gotcha.
I didn't see anyone shutting that down. Didn't they do some report about like deaths for marijuana versus fucking alcohol? Like,
yeah.
Isn't it like astronomical differences? So
it's not even existent for real. You can't even. Yeah, you can't even. Literally, you can't compare it. That's how non-existent.
Exactly. It is. So why would you attack the industry? Why would you destroy the industry?
Because listen, see, I learned this from you. Let me answer. Can I answer, teacher?
You got it. Teacher? Bring it up.
Their bottom line.
The bottom motherfucking line.
Dude, yeah,
but for a politician to be that blatant, that upfront, and that corrupt, what does that bottom line affect?
Now you got me, Teach.
His bottom line.
Oh, yeah, no, okay, my bad. See, I was just, I smoked a lot before I got it.
No, but you were right. It's the bottom line.
Shout outs again, Pinpoint, dude. You guys always come through, dude. Pinpoint, and I believe I have the name of the dispo. I won't forget about you next time.
Oh, and I'm sorry. We don't normally like to be liars, but it's kind of hard to stay out of your gravitational force there, Illinois.
Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah, my bad. I don't want to go anywhere near not one of your dispos. I can't trust none of it.
Right, but like, I mean, we talk about Democratic.
To be honest with you, my cousin has collaborated how do you say, what's that word?
Corroborated?
Corroborated everything that Joey has told me and showed me about the dispos in Illinois. Shout out to my boy Leaf. A lot of that shit be moldier than a motherfucker, and it's old as shit.
Yeah.
It's old and not even packaged properly. So these guys, what I hear is a really big problem with their shit, dude. And you correct me if I'm wrong. They don't let it fully dry. So they're vac sealing it with the moisture in there. And then it might sit there for a year. And then Zuka, you pull that bitch out in a year, it's all mold.
Oh, you ready to see how great this is? You ready for this message?
Yeah.
Remember when we were talking about economies of scale and how when you get bigger, it fucks a company up?
Yeah.
Remember what happened on Thanksgiving?
Oh, with the pot pies or with the pumpkin pie.
What did they do too soon?
They packaged it too soon. The steam. Yeah. These people.
Remember I said it's they all do the same fucking thing.
Man, so man, this is good shit right here though. Not good for, listen, it sucks for Illinois. But so now what do we tell our friends, right? Because obviously we've made a ton of friends in this space now. How do we help our friends in the hemp industry?
As I said it, and I said it on the thing with Ty, and I said it with Sam, and I've said it with everybody I've talked to. You gotta unite. You gotta find a way to unionize against it. There's a power in the people, and that's what it's about. The problem is,
what do you think about me running the marijuana union, huh?
Hey, go for it. And it's not. I think it'd more be a hemp and a small player union because
I'll take that too. Cool.
Right. Because the marijuana thing is supposed to be for the employees, not the owners, and the big can just keeps coming together. It's basically knocking them down. I mean, look how many times they fired fucking full dispensaries of people because they tried to unionize. How many times people are getting sued for union fighting with them?
To stop them, we actually will have an episode on coming soon. We do have a couple different connections that were some of the first people to try to unionize dispensaries. Yep. And they are more than happy to share their stories. So they definitely are looking forward to that too. So everybody stay tuned. Not to cut you off, Joe, but I wanted to make sure we let them know we got that coming.
So it's almost like they got to create a collective bargaining unit and collective bargaining power against the larger players. Because think about it. They're throwing around hundreds of millions of dollars just to get shit passed. They're throwing money left and right to get what they want to get done. They're literally going to functions and events, sitting in the same room with the people that are supposed to be watching them and regulators. I mean, you heard about that Economic Chicago event. Was it Tuesday?
Yes, I did. Yep.
Did you realize you have players in the same room as like the Attorney General and the Department of Financial Professional Regulation, the ones that are supposed to be watching them, sitting there at the same event as members of the same group, having conversations behind closed doors?
Man.
But they're supposed to be watching them, right? So how is it?
There's supposed to be oversight, isn't there?
Right. But if you're at the same tables in the same location, you can't
be oversight.
Even if there's 1,000 people there, if you're all members of the same club, there's no oversight.
Yeah. See, they need a guy like James Fontano, head of the cannabis union. Yep. Look for it soon. Figure out how to do
this
that.
is why the unions were so effective back in the day when you actually had like a group of Irish guys or Italian guys or mixed people, anything, when they unionized and they got together without cameras and without security, and you showed up and you just said hello.
Yep, that's it.
That's it.
And listen, like, so once again, you know me, I'm always liking to point shit out. We understand that, like, guys like Jimmy Hoffa and all these people, they did bad things, right? So we're not saying that anybody's fucking perfect. But when you're talking about creating a collective of people that stand for the same thing and have each other's back, right? Because that's all it is.
Right.
That's all it fucking is. We all got each other's back nonstop. This guy leads us. These people take care of us, and we work our asses off type shit, right? And we stick to that. So these things worked, though.
Yeah.
I mean, bad things needed to happen. But mind you, anything that's really worked in history, Joe, it hasn't been clean, bro.
No, never been clean. And
it's
now
not
they're just
a clean scenario. Power is not a clean scenario, guys.
And they know it's not clean, and they know it doesn't work that way. So now they're just chopping off the legs there. Like before the hemp industry gets too much like fucking momentum and going, they're trying to chop the legs off of it now in the beginning, citing kids for stuff. But if they actually cared and the Democrats actually gave a fuck about kids, they wouldn't be letting some guy out who just sold a bunch of kids into sex trafficking. That's on their party.
Yeah, and what about the nicotine vapes, right? They never took nicotine vapes off the shelf. They just said that, we're gonna make sure we card, or we're gonna take these out of them.
I will take that one. Chicago and Illinois did step up and say they removed flavors, so they forced flavors to be removed off the shelf.
Okay. But
you can still buy them all over Illinois. It just means they can't be on the shelf. And the ones that are on the shelf, you don't see them policing it and stopping it.
That's because Fat Fuck don't got his hand in it, though. If he had his hand in it,
it's not hurting his bottom line. If it hurt his bottom line, you'd go. But once again, all these conversations are probably done in those emails and texts with, Congress and Senate, and they're all having these conversations backdoor, because why would Illinois be driving the field if they weren't 25% of the country's fucking supply and mover?
Yeah, and if this goofy ass bill passes, we may never know.
Exactly. That's the problem.
So now listen, how does this backfire on them though, Joe? So let's go to the flip side, because we've noticed in a pattern here that the Democrats and a lot of the people in their party, not everybody, right? Because not all of them are bad politicians, but that a lot of their party, they don't seem to think about the big picture.
It's the one thing I've learned of what's going on. They think of the now, and they don't think of 10 steps ahead.
Yeah, so how does this backfire on them? Let's say this bill passes, right? Now we can't look at politicians, subpoena, nothing like that. How does this backfire on them?
It erodes the trust. The next big thing that happens, think about it this way, it's going to change it. If you don't have the right to show it, it's kind of like tax fraud. It's admission through omission. If the senator's not willing to show his stuff and he hides behind a law, he just admitted through omission that he was involved. So it basically kind of forces the hand of the public trust now. If they're not willing to show willingly, you're basically admitting you're part of it. It's going to erode that trust. It's going to probably fuck up their election cycles, and it's probably going to start flipping parties, because you just went to a full extreme of, hey, we're above the law and we're going to protect ourselves. Yeah, people aren't going to be happy about that as they're going. And right now they might not realize it, but the first thing that when shit hits the fan again, and let's be honest, shit always fucking hits the fan.
It's inevitable.
It's an inevitable
thing. Yeah.
Doesn't matter who's in charge, what's going on. This is a goddamn world of free mind. We have free spirit, free mind. We can do whatever we want.
We're supposed to.
Somebody's going to fucking hit the shit. When something hits the shit and people want to know the truth and people hide behind this law, they're going to start realizing they can't trust the system.
And you're definitely not wrong about that.
No. And what's going to happen, though, and here's where it gets bad, when you start getting people who don't trust the system and they realize the system is there to fuck them, you're going to have people that are stopped trying to join the system to change the system.
They're going to turn on the system. That's
correct. And you're going to go from raising children to actually realize they should grow up and get educated and join the system and try and change the world, to people ending up like a Luigi, realizing the only thing that solves a fucking corrupt system.
Goddamn shame.
Yeah. And it's sad.
You're 100% correct. That's a goddamn shame. That's a goddamn shame, because when you go back and you truly look at it, I think we were talking about this a little bit the other day, right? When you go back and you truly look at it, right? Our country's basic concept of being an American has very much changed since the days of our grandparents.
Right.
You know, there's this crazy concept that that doing everything that we've been taught our entire lives was pointless, right? You got people that do the wrong things their entire life and get rewarded for it, but people that mess up once and just can't seem to find a good job are suffering their entire lives, right? You know, did you just touch a little bit on this real quick? Amazon strike, Teamsters.
Yep.
They're going crazy right now out by me, bro. I don't know if you heard about it, but they're walking off.
And as they should.
People don't get, so Amazon doesn't pay very well by me, right? It's not, I mean, like, I know in Chicago, you can end up with like a $30 to $35 an hour position there, right?
With good benefits, I heard too.
Yes, great benefits. And then I heard a lot of it's like 12-hour shifts. So you're like guaranteed that overtime money in a sense.
Right.
But, these people out here, dude, I think it's like $13 to $15 an hour.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Their minimum wage in Georgia is $7.50. Hasn't changed in 14 years.
Jesus.
14 fucking years. So you got people that now, like you're saying, unions, the Teamsters, baby. Listen, enough is enough. We're walking the fuck out. Go fuck yourselves.
So, but now, and take it though. Look at this though. Now you're looking at politicians and big companies. They're starting to apply pressure on people when they can't do it legally through like illegitimate ways. Yeah. So people are starting to die. Yes. People are starting to vanish. People are just whacking off for no reason. Or
people are getting taken out of the scenario because they go and do something stupid and shoot the healthcare CEO because they feel that's the only way.
Right. So now you're raising a group of people that are starting to feel like they're under a thumb of oppression, right? Yes. When people start to feel oppressed, they start to stand the fuck up.
Hey, yeah, listen. There ain't nothing worse than a cornered person who feels like he's at rock bottom.
Right. But here's the other problem, though. When you've spent decades, let me remind you, sometimes even centuries, separating and segmenting the people based on color, race, religion. And if now you're doing it and you're doing it politically to get votes, to do attacks, if you start oppressing them all in the same box and you start putting them all on the same level, which is what they're doing, they're going to realize the whole system was set up to separate and segment and create an internal struggle so you don't fight the top. But anyone who's ever been in sports knows when you all hate your coach, you unify and you team up and you succeed to fucking throw it in your coach's face, right?
Yes. 100%. Yeah.
Military teaches you that. Sports teach you that. If you all hate your coach together for what he puts you through, you become better as a team. If you oppress a bunch of different people that were told to hate each other in one box, even though not systemically put in a position where they should hate each other. Yes. They don't actually hate, but there's other sides. You know what I'm talking about?
100%. Yep.
When you put them together in a box and they realize, we all bleed red and we're all American, there's going to be an issue.
Oh God. And please just, like I always try to look out for my boy. He's not trying to tell people to go out and shoot up a school or hurt somebody. No. That's not what the fuck he's saying. This isn't No. We're just saying when you get people,
if you follow the patterns of history, it's a repeating of this pattern of history, and that's what I'm saying. The path that they're going is going to repeat this pattern and put it in this. They're creating a pressure cooker of a bunch of people, and they basically politically made bomb of animosity and hatred toward a system that is going to eventually boil over if they don't figure out how to calm down and turn down the simmer. Yeah. And instead of turning down the simmer, they're trying to hide the fact that it's simmering by doing more illegal things.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Instead of finding some common ground, like it's really not hard, and it really sounds like it's a crazy situation for him, but it's not hard to just sit down and be like, listen, you guys, okay, we don't have any money.
Right.
We cannot just keep giving it to people, and then when we agree to give it to people, we end up putting something in the bill that bites us in the ass 10 times more down the road. That's not working. We need to change it up a bit and try something different because this hasn't worked for the past 4 years.
Exactly, and that's the problem. And if they're just doing it to help people, that's great. But when you slide other stuff in there, and it's in the past, it was like you could just scream and yell about the fact, like, oh my God, look. They want us to go on a strike and a lockdown because we don't have money. And now with social media and everybody's starting to realize how bad this situation is, when you have multiple people digging through this and going about it online, it's kind of like, wait, why would my party do that?
Well, social media is a motherfucker. That's why they snuck that into the bill, mind you, because everybody's tired of Twitter posts and emails and text messages all being leaked, right?
Yep.
So everybody's so tired of their moves being figured out, because now once the American people figure it out and it hits social media, it's like wildfire, baby.
Exactly.
You can't stop people from seeing it. So now these people really get to dive into a little bit of how politicians in general are really operating. And it's a very ugly sight to people.
But then if you start looking at the list of some of these events, which I have, and it's interesting because some of the people that are in charge of those, social media things are at these events with these same people. I mean, like, I thought it was interesting. Maybe you would too. Why would foreign people and consulates from other countries be at a Chicago economic group?
Well, I mean, the safe bet would be, the reasonable thing I would believe would be because Chicago's like like an epicenter for business, especially international business, isn't it?
But we're talking about a private event for members.
Oh, so they're specific members, right?
Right. Like, I mean, it's not like a public event where people were able to buy tickets to.
Okay.
But that's what I mean. Like, the amount of stuff that happens behind closed doors, like, no, everything they're showing us and we're seeing and we're catching stuff on is just because it's getting sloppy. And everybody's starting to pay attention. Most of the time, the shit that we're seeing isn't even what's actually happening.
Yeah. Yeah, and we would have no knowledge of it, correct? Right? Like, normally,
we'd have to wait 50 years.
Yeah, without the sloppiness of how people are operating, because remind you, when you're operating from a state of panic, it's way different than operating from a state of confidence, right? So when you're in a state of panic and you know that everything's crumbling down around you, your moves have to be very, very, very calculated. Yeah. And that's not what they're doing anymore. So like you said, the sloppiness, right? You're getting leaks and you're getting people that are picking apart these bills that normally you were so used to being able to turn in a 1,500-page bill and nobody say a word about it.
Right.
But now people are actually looking at what the fuck is in there, and they're like, what the fuck?
Exactly. It's like everyone's got to go back and watch Star Wars. I have the high ground on it. You know what happens when you have the low ground and you're trying to attack someone on the high ground? You lose your motherfucking limbs.
Yes, sir. Yeah, dude, it's a crazy fucking tactic. But the great thing about it is not only on our platform, right, and on our show. You see it all the time now. Everybody is now finally starting to open up their eyes and pay attention to these things that are being done in our country as a whole, on both sides of the spectrum.
Yep.
Right? They're paying attention to things and they're starting to see, like, okay, so you told me that this was for me, but it's really not for me.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like, you're really screwing me.
Right.
And,
and
they're catching.
In what world do they need to be above the law and hide what their texts and emails say? I mean, aren't they all like elected officials above board and they've all made it very clear they haven't done anything wrong?
Well, listen. So with that being said, right, I believe that you should still have some sense of privacy, right? But what bothers me is the time and place and the fashion that you're doing it, right? So if you would have done this properly and not did some quick 24-hour to 48-hour pass of a bill, right? And you would have been like, okay, listen, I think that us as politicians should have a little bit more privacy, right? Now you start diving into systems that you put in place so that your work stuff doesn't get leaked out no more. But the fact of the matter is you just tried to make up some big bipartisan deal bullshit and snuck it in there because we're about to switch and they're going to tear you the fuck apart once you guys are out of office.
Right. I mean, honestly, when that big hack leak came out during lockdown with, was it the fappening or whatever that was called? Remember that? When celebrities, new stuff went out. See, that would have been a time to do it. Because you're protecting the privacy.
Now because look at what happened with Hunter Biden stuff, right?
Yep.
Not to dive back into that fucking Schuchenheimer, but this guy's laptop gets found because he pawned it off somewhere, right? Whatever the story was, right? This guy's laptop gets found, and they went through fucking rings of fire to try to keep this laptop from really hitting the streets, right? Now
they tried everything.
Yeah, I mean, literally, they tried everything to get this laptop to not hit the streets. And then when it hit the streets, they're like, oh, that's not his. What? All his files are on here, and it's pictures of him with crack whores.
Of a questionable age.
Of a questionable age. So now what you're seeing is like you said, or like we said earlier, they're learning from these mistakes and they're trying to put measures in place so that they don't need to deal with these things again. But the American people are just not going for it. They're not.
They're tired of the old system and the old traditions and how things are going, and they want to change. They realize the power's back to the people. They can't trust the government. They can't trust the money. They can't trust any of the systems anymore. I mean, why do you think Dogecoin and fucking Elon's going up so big, and why Trump is? They're against the old system. They go against the grain.
Well, even other countries. So I know that there's other countries, and I'll get some specifics because I would like to have a conversation about this more one day because XRP is doing very well, right? So there's countries that are starting to implement the use of cryptocurrency.
Greece does.
Okay, so there we go. So we got Greece. I know there's a South American one. There's some president that just made, and I believe it's XRP, right? So people are starting to see that, like, as opposed to everybody being like, hey, listen, we want the US dollar. Bring that here, right? We want that. People are starting to be like, hey, whoa, we see what the fuck you guys have been doing. We don't want that shit near us. Keep it away. We don't want these problems no more.
Right.
So now, so now you, what do you do as far as how do you combat it, dude? I mean, how do we not let ourselves now turn into some third world half-rate country when everybody seems to be running away from us because of what's going on?
As I said, you got to fix the fucking system, and that's the problem.
Yeah, but you can't do that. You can't do that.
So what they're doing is they're creating a system within a system. That's why this crypto stuff is going on and happening. No one's trusting the banks. No one's trusting the systems. They're creating their own version of the system within the system and operating. It's almost like they're stepping away from the form of government they did, and they're going back to the barter system, where it was back to person, removing the government interference.
So, man, I mean, I'm sorry. I'm all about not creating division, right? But it seems like that's just what you're going to get now is a whole lot of division, a whole lot of animosity, and a whole lot of resentment.
The reason you can tell it's working and it's happening is because did they not start requesting your transactions on Venmo for tax purposes?
Yeah, you're even allowed to claim drug deals on your taxes these days.
But what I'm getting at is like the fact that they've already started taxing these third-party systems, right? That allow you to transact cash back and forth to each other. It means it's already had a detrimental effect on them, which means not only that, they want the taxes on that. They're already seeing the system within a system taking place, and now you're seeing it move to crypto. But now they're forcing crypto companies, the wallets that hold them, if you don't go directly to market, if you're doing it through these wallets, you have to disclose your purchases, your sales, and they turn you tax forms too, because they're starting to see already the American people are going to their own system within a system.
Yeah. And there are very few wallets that don't. I mean, the one that I use is official, like a referee with a whistle. I don't got to turn over a goddamn thing, and nor will I. Yeah, there's definitely wallets that have changed the game, and they're starting to make you turn in information and all this extra goofy shit.
Right, you have to turn in you have to verify ID, your taxes, your identification to even open some of these wallets.
Mm-hmm. That's a very true statement. Yeah.
Yep. They're making it just like banking now because they need to regulate it because they're tired of a system within a system. They need their way to get their hands on the cash.
Wow, man.
And if they weren't funneling monies overseas to wars and back to their own pockets, or the money that doesn't go there, then they wouldn't care. But they need to find a way to make up for the deficit.
So, this is a good question. I like you mentioned overseas, right?
Yep.
When you sit back and you think about it, right? We just sent, we probably given Ukraine $75+ trillion, right?
God knows.
Isn't it a fair assessment to say that we could have gave each person in America $500,000?
No, but it's a fair assessment to say we can give a lot of people in America money, or at least solved a lot of problems.
At $75 trillion, we wouldn't have been able to give how many Americans?
I don't know. That's why I'm not answering, because I don't know the numbers in front of me. But
I really want to do the math.
Right.
I'm just too stoned.
But the first thing that popped up in my head is that thing online where it's, for $1 billion, I could give 1 billion people each $1 million. And you're sitting there like, did you hear what you said to yourself? So I didn't know. I'm sitting here like, dude, is James trying to trick me with this math? Because I'm not trying to run that math in my head, and I don't know the amount of people.
Yeah, I tried to get you, bro.
You know what I mean? Like on that one, like you know the ones where the people post on like if you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
where you got to sit there and I'm trying to make you think and make yourself look like you're crazy. Yeah,
right, you're looking at it like $1 billion and you're gonna give everyone $1 million for 1 billion people. Like, come on, like you're gonna give everyone a dollar for $1 billion. You got to give everyone $1.
Everybody can get $1, not 1 million.
Right. So, like for 75 trillion, I don't know how we're talking about how many people. Are we talking about documented, undocumented? How much money is going through?
Oh,
like,
man,
yeah,
we don't even want to dive into undocumented. They're getting everything, bro. You might as well leave the country, come back as somebody else, undocument yourself. You'd be situated for the next.
Right here, like, let me see if I can pull it up. You go rant and rave about Detroit.
About Detroit.
Yeah, about our love the president guy.
The president guy.
The guy who just got killed in his company by the employee.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Okay. I got you. So, we just got a crazy ass story, right? Employee arrested for stabbing company president in Western Michigan, right? What happened here, Joe? And what are we seeing in Muskegon, Michigan? A 32-year-old man was arrested after police say he stabbed the president of a company he worked for Tuesday morning. A preliminary investigation determined that an employee from Walker, Michigan, stabbed the company president in the side during a staff meeting.
Yeah,
it's located. Fruitport says the motive of unknown. So, what the hell is this? A marijuana company, bud?
No, I don't know. It didn't say. It didn't release it.
Yeah, they're not giving me too much information on it, bro.
So you were actually pretty close. Based on 2023, there's 334.9 million people in the population of the United States. Based on this, and for 75 trillion, each person would get about $223,000.
Hey, run it.
Yeah. So you were close. I did want to check. I didn't know the numbers, but there you go.
Yeah, that's some pretty crazy fucking numbers, dude.
Right. That would change everyone's life. But at the same time,
everybody's.
You could also just take away our debt. Take away the debt.
Yeah, right. Honestly, right. Stop robbing Peter to pay Paul. You know, dude, that's one thing my grandfather, right, instilled in most of his children, right? And because a lot of my aunts and uncles are fucking idiots. But stop robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah, and if you keep doing that, China's going to keep releasing bats.
Yeah, and I don't want to, dude. I don't want to learn Chinese either, guys.
Yeah,
I swear to God, if these little motherfuckers come over here and they just start fucking doing taekwondo and shit, what are we gonna do?
No idea.
What are you gonna do? You got 100,000 Jackie Chans, bro.
Because like when that happened, I was helping doing some stuff, and you were probably too with all the clothing stuff, the gloves, all the outfits. You know how much of that shit came from Asia? Remember that?
Everything.
Yeah. You know how much money they probably made off of that?
God, and they said that's why it's all a giant. Look, we're on to you, and now you guys told us you guys are getting prepped and ready for the next one.
Yeah, exactly. Randy's not going over there. He's not falling for that again. He's not going to go fuck another animal with Mickey.
No, absolutely the fuck not. Absolutely the fuck not. I want to dive a smidge into this drone stuff really quick.
Sorry,
I just want to tap on this drone stuff and before we get into a little bit of the music stuff really quick, because there's been a kind of a crazy update in the situation that I think is kind of weird. So all of a sudden New Jersey basically just downed all drone flight in their state and said, "Hey, listen, you guys, stop flying them bitches till we could figure out what the fuck is going on." So
is that to regular people? Is that to governments? To who do they say that to? So they want to make sure no individuals are flying drones until they figure out what's going on.
The FAA. So like the FAA said, listen, all commercial drones down, over with. All commercial and independent drones down. So now I'm guessing anything you guys see in the sky from now on is going to be a military drone. I'm guessing. So,
but wait, if the FAA is saying that, shouldn't they be aware if it's a government drone?
Oh, dude, I mean, this is one of those things where I was just going to get to. They don't fucking... Why aren't we still knowing what the fuck they're doing? And why is the concentration on New Jersey? Because, mind you, doesn't Jersey have one of the largest ports and busiest ports?
Yeah, they do. I mean,
so
if anyone who didn't know that, if you watch Sopranos, you'll learn about it.
And let's just go with our boy's story that we heard the other day about them... thinking that a nuclear warhead might have possibly made it in this direction, right? if you're concentrating over one of the states that has one of the busiest ports in the country, and you're concentrating your drones over there, and you've downed drone commercial flights and independent flights in the state of New Jersey by the FFA. I mean, that
if it walks like a duck.
Yeah, thank you, dude. Thank you. I was running out of breath. I couldn't get it out. So.
No, I knew where you're going, but we're right back to the duck one.
If it walks like a duck, it quacks like a duck. It's a fucking duck, everybody.
Yep.
And I'm not going to sit here and say that everybody should be in a panic, but just be aware, dude. And any information that anybody has, we're definitely willing to take all information. So if anybody has anything they want us to throw on the show, anything like that, send it to me or Joe. We'll check it out, get it up here.
You want to send us a drone so we can play with it? Feel free.
I would do that. Yeah. I'm not in Jersey, so I can fly it, but I'm not going to lie to you. There's been a lot of drones by me, too. Right. I can't ever catch one on my phone, but you can kind of hear. And we got a large...
It's got that little whizzing thing. And I mean, now, think about it now. You can, just... Remember when they were, thousands of dollars for a drone? Now you can pick up a drone for, a couple $100 that, folds down. Dude. Folds down to the size of a small race car we used to have as a kid.
Full-blown camera... Yeah, 4K, all that shit, dude. It's fucking.
It's a voyeur's dream.
Yeah. Yes. So, we're gonna spend the next few minutes going over some stuff that we got going on in the music side of things, right? We got a ton of good updates, and I don't ever get to talk to Joey about music shit no more because he's too fucking busy. So I'm gonna make him listen during this. Gotcha, Vic.
That's his way to get in.
Got him. Nah, so, major shout out to Freddie and Chris over at Motivate the Trenches. These two guys have made some crazy fucking moves in the past couple weeks. I've mentioned Smokey Dollars on here a couple times. And when I can't say this enough. If you're an independent artist and you want to get access to Smokey and get in tune with Smokey, please reach out. One of the best producers and artists and engineers that I've met so far. And that I'm not saying that he's just insanely talented more than anybody else. There are other talented producers, right? But what I like to point out is the work ethic, right? So the dude doesn't stop. He has a great work ethic, great energy. So, they really got in tune with him. And we've just been putting artists and putting projects together on this side, Joe. Nice. Joe, wait, I haven't sent you none of the new music, right? I just haven't sent you nothing. I've been keeping you completely out of the loop for quite some time. Tink and me have just been going crazy with the radio station and playlisting and interviews and all this other stuff that we're doing. So I'm going to start sending it to you, and wait till you see what we're producing, dude, and where these guys have come from. Tommy, absolutely amazing. Stunt, fucking killing it. Top to bottom, HBCKG, dude. You got Smokey himself. You got Boss Man the Don, dude. I mean, just Stitchy. Top to bottom, my boy. It is
they're coming better. It's all coming.
Dude, when you're talking about artist development, dude, the whole team has grown so much, including myself. So I have had such a great experience learning from the people that we're in tune with. Guys like Phil, Little Chris, Geek on the Beat, dude. I mean, so many different people play a huge role in this. And then Stunt being one of the biggest assets that I've ever met in the game, dude, teaching me so much. It's just been an incredible experience. And I'm kind of upset that you've been so out of tune because you were kind of in the mix when it was just all music. You know what I'm saying? It was just so chaotic. And to see what this has grown into, and a lot of the new people that we've got in tune with, Ms. B, dude, shout out to her. She's fucking amazing. If anybody is looking for some of the best showcases in the southern regions, please reach out to Ms. B, dude. Let me know if you can't get in tune with her. I will definitely get you directly in tune with her ASAP. She's an amazing individual, great human being. What else do we got? So Tommy Bands' music video for Head Rush should be out soon. We've got Stunt Taylor announcing the drop of Big Difference's official music video January 1st at 12 p.m. on all platforms, all video platforms. It'll be there, guys. So everybody make sure you guys go out, check out all his stuff so that you guys can catch up and see what he's got going on. We also are currently in the works, Joe. So what we want to do is we want to start keying on getting good independent music out there, right? And we want to use WURE Memphis and the platforms, which is, you know, everything that comes from F'nAround, because mind you, Timeless Wolf has put such a great system together with building that brand out. You get what I'm saying? Because you're seeing F'nAround become more of a brand now with the talks that I'm noticing with us and you guys, right? So you're starting to see this brand and lifestyle form around it, right? Which is really nice. Brittany and Co, dude. Dude, I can't tell you how happy I am that she did what she did. And you know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
You know that means a lot to me right here, my boy. So, Brittany, when I asked to get it done, dude, Brittany got me in tune with somebody to get me working with some people in Cook County, right? Which you guys will be hearing a lot more coming up. And fucking, I mean, it wasn't, what was it? Fucking 12 hours?
Yeah, super quick.
I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. I posted the comment, she hearted it, and 8 hours later, I was done. I was put in tune. I mean, I'm telling you, it's every bit of 12 hours it took before she put me in a great situation to do something that means a lot to me. So everybody be on the lookout for something with Joe and I and Brittany and Co. with some Cook County, let's call it making it a better place, dude. That's all it is, dude. Let's call it making it a better place, dude. We, like I said, Freddie's numbers over there. Fred's numbers are fucking amazing in the Inglewood area, and we want to get a part of that, dude, and we want to contribute to that too. 312 all F'nAround. We want to get in tune with that. So be on the lookout for that. And if anybody's looking to get any motion on WURE as far as music, right? If you're looking to get in touch with A&Rs, if you're looking to get in touch with artists, if you're looking to get your music on the radio, if you're looking to get on the show, please go to the website, submit your music at www.wurememphis.com. Submit your music there, and then Tink will get in tune with you ASAP. If you guys don't know, go follow Tink on all platforms for all music stuff. And Joe, thanks for giving me a few minutes to get that out there, my boy.
So one little comment on there. What's Tink's handle?
Let me get it for you. My bad. Yo, yeah. Facts. See, look at this is why Joey's been there from the beginning. If everybody hasn't noticed, you know, I'm literally nobody without my team, dude. It's kind of crazy. So, I mean, listen, shout out to my whole entire team also, dude. For real. You guys have been doing great. And then I don't want to speak too much on this just yet, but everybody go out and follow BVL Boxing Solutions on Instagram, right? That's what the handle is.
Yep.
BVL Boxing Solutions. And just stay tuned to my boy Joey Leonard over there, dude.
Yep, he's doing good.
That's a personal friends of Joey and Teresa for quite some time. Joe a little bit more, obviously a lot longer than my sister, but just keep in tune with what he's got going on. January is going to be a big thing for him. It's a huge start with what he's got going on over there. And then for everybody that I didn't say this before, 312 all Tink, TINK. Feel free to reach out to her about anything pertaining to WURE. Thank you to our owner, dude. Hey, dude, how great is Phil, Joe?
Phil's amazing. Him and that Almond Kush, right?
Dude, Almond Kush, Phil Duncan, Vadim Glozman, DJ Care Bear, DJ Jeff Lee, dude. Shout out to the entire team. Everybody from JJ right here, dude. Have an amazing.
Well, what are you doing? We still got like a minute.
No, I know. I'm just telling everybody have an amazing weekend, dude. And yeah, we only have 45 seconds. So, you know, everybody from me have an amazing weekend. I'm going to leave you with Joe now for a second. Let him get some shit out there.
Well, I'd love to shout out to my whole team for the Timeless Wolf Productions. You know, you got everyone F'nAround, my fellows over at the podcast, Mike and Mo, who've been kicking up. You know, everyone here on Taylor Street supporting us and showing us love. You know, shout out to our boy, Captain Joey, for just graduating. Shout out to that bachelor's you got. You know, that just came up. Shout out to everyone who helped us get here. You know, of course, Brittany and Co. But, you know, as always, we're coming in holiday season. We're coming in Christmas. Shout out to our families who supported us through all of our crazy adventures, whether it be, you know, new bracelets or like drunken adventures or stupid shit getting kicked out of places. No matter what they did, they were still there for our back. And, I mean, James say the same thing. Whether we fought with them or we didn't, they're still our family. We deal with them. So with that being said, thank you again for tuning in this week to F'nAround in the Morning. I'm your co-host, Joe.
Hey, it's JJ. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Thank you for F'nAround with us in the morning.
See you tomorrow morning.
All right, see you tomorrow morning.
Effing around, start the day. Rest and rage, we got something to say. Feel the beat and energy rise. It's morning mayhem, no surprise. We're effing around, sun's up, it's true. Morning vibes just for you.